name is Cheryl Wartz. I'm the Executive Director of Peace Action of New York State. Nationally, Peace Action is the largest grassroots peace organization in the country, and here in New York State, we have 3,000 members and 18 chapters across the country that run the state. Most of our chapters are out doing something today around the war in Afghanistan, because today is the 8th anniversary of the U.S. invasion of Afghanistan. That's 2 years longer than the entire Second World War has gone on. And both of our senators from here in New York, Senator Schumer and Gillibrand, have told our organization that they don't yet have an official position on Afghanistan, and they're still studying the issue. It's been 8 years. It's time to stop studying the issue and really do something to address the issue. People are dying every day, and we don't have time for them to continue to think about it. It's time for them to realize that even if they don't have a position, we have a position as New Yorkers, and it is their position as representatives of New York to represent us. And we want to get out of Afghanistan. We think that we can do so much more good for the people of Afghanistan and for the region by spending so much less money than we're spending now on building schools and hospitals, and we can use that money that we're not spending on healthcare here in the United States. Jobs, programs, schools and hospitals, infrastructure here in New York where we really need it. And it's their responsibility, our senators, as our representatives, to bring as much money as possible to support New Yorkers into New York. That's their job. So our job out on the street today is to make sure that they're doing their job in representing us, and they're not right now. So that's why we're out today around the state in a variety of events that are going to be occurring all over the place.
My name is Barbara Walker, and the Granny Peace Brigade, the organization that Grandmothers Against the War. And I was just saying to you that Chris Hedges was talking about it, well, others have said it too, the inordinate amount that is being spent on the military, the trillions. And he said we're heading toward an implosion. And this is looking at it in terms of enlightened self-interest, not the altruistic, what we shouldn't be doing in other countries, no, what we are doing and what it's doing to us. The huge amount being spent on the military. And then we have the infrastructure, education, health problems, and we are saying, oh, we don't have the money for these. I mean, we're absolutely penurious when it comes to spending on these matters, and yet we're spending on the military huge amounts. And he said we're heading toward an implosion. And to me, it was such a perfect picture, because you see this rim and the implosion taking place inside, and here it all falls apart. There's also a yardstick that was given. I think the American Friends Service Committee put it out. It's 3 feet a yard. Most of it, 2 feet of it, is red, military. The rest is what else we're spending. Now, we're here reading the names of the dead, principally in Afghanistan. What's being done in Afghanistan? The Taliban has said they're not going to stop until we give a time for exiting. Barack Obama talked about negotiating. Karzai at a point said something to the effect that the Taliban negotiation was needed. Obviously, the fighting is not working. We're laying waste to the country. We need to look into negotiating to stop this, because we're saying we're there now to shore up the country, to protect the civilian population. In fact, it was said by Crystal that the military outposts on the mountaintops, removing those and going into the villages. Well, my goodness, what does one see happening there? One even has heard that schools built by the military, well, of course, if Taliban is against the military being there, what are they going to do? But sometimes destroy, make it impossible to use the schools. What we need to do is to, as I see it, and I'm not an expert on any of this, one just sees what is happening and what we know should not be happening, is to negotiate. Now, we know also there's another factor. That area, geographically, economically, it's in the line of gas, oil production, and there are pipelines to be protected, and pipelines that go down through Afghanistan, through Pakistan, down to the Arabian Sea. So that's a factor also that needs to be taken into consideration. However, can't that also be negotiated for our use and control? So what needs to be done is the destruction of people, their countries, our own, has to stop. If one even saw that it was successful. Some might say, well, at least we're successful.
Those killed from New York and Afghanistan.
Off-road Jeffrey Lamb, Queens, New York. Sergeant Denise A. Lanaman, Bayside, New York. Specialist Jeff LeBrun, Buffalo, New York. Second Lieutenant Michael L. Lakaisi, Garden City, New York. Specialist Roger G. Ling, Douglaston, New York. Specialist James A. London, Belport, New York.
Hello, my name's Ted Albat, and I'm here to protest the war in Afghanistan and demand a withdrawal from the president. I think the war in Afghanistan is a complete disaster and a crime, and it's doing the opposite of what the American people think it's been doing. It's been creating more terrorists, killing more people, creating more destruction, and we're in a situation that we simply can't win, which I don't know what winning means. And I'm urging the president and American people to withdraw from Afghanistan, end this horrible war that's been going on for 8 years.
These wars are totally wrong, that they're not bringing security to this country as Obama claims. They're doing the opposite. They're creating so much hatred in the Middle East that this is bound to spill over into this country, that these wars are unjustified. They're for nothing more than to extend our economic influence by military means overseas. It's not going to work. It never worked before. It's going to bring this country down. And we believe that we should get out of Iraq and Afghanistan and we should start getting out right now.
Lance Corporal William W. White, Brooklyn, New York. Lance Corporal Nicholas J. White, Brooklyn, New York. Sergeant Eugene Williams, Highland, New York. Petty Officer 3rd Class Nicholas Wilson, Newark Valley, New York.
Military families against the war. I have my cousin's son was in the army. He was deployed to both Afghanistan and Iraq. And thank goodness he came back alive, but some people's families don't. You could probably, there's also Iraq Veterans Against the War. That's another group if you're interested in speaking out against the war.
We can see down here when we hand out demonstration and there's a lot of apathy, and I don't think people really know what's involved in the war. There was a soldier we were talking about, a soldier was talking in the group, and I asked him, before you go to war in Afghanistan, in the current case, do you learn anything about the history, the geography, the people, the religion? And he said nothing, which I think is very wrong. And that's the same thing with people here. They don't know anything about what they're involved in.
Hi, I'm Anjali Manibandhan. I'm a new intern at Peace Action New York State. I just started working for Peace Action New York State 2 weeks ago. This is kind of my first time really doing the protest. Here we are giving out flyers about the war in Afghanistan. This is the 8th anniversary. And also trying to get a petition signed in order to get an exit strategy for it. I actually wrote this petition in the flyer, so that's exciting.
Excuse me, can you get just a couple of little space?
And
We are reading the warning. Take a moment and sign the petition. From New York State.
If you'd like to join our organization, if you're a New Yorker, you can go to www.panys.org. That's where you can sign up for the state organization, or you can sign any of our multiple petitions on our website. You can also use the link there that says chapters to find where there's a local peace action group in your neighborhood where you can get directly involved.